right, so are you ready for this? Like, we're talking Lil Durk,
Oh, yeah.
Grammy winner, top in the charts,
Yeah.
but also facing some really serious accusations.
Yeah, it's a wild case. Goes
Okay.
way beyond the music. You know, we're talking about loyalty and
Yeah,
gang violence we're even talking about.
yeah. Can lyrics
Can lyrics be used against you
in court?
in a court of law?
That's crazy.
It's big.
So to really get what's going on here,
Yeah.
we kind of got to go back.
Back in time a little bit.
Yeah, to like 2013
Okay.
when he was arrested on a gun charge
Right. In Chicago.
in Chicago.
Mhm.
And this wasn't just like a one-time thing. This was like the beginning
A
of
pattern of legal trouble.
Yeah, like legal issues have followed this guy.
Throughout his career.
Yeah.
And then in 2020, things took a really dark turn with the death of King Von.
Yeah, his close friend and collaborator. Like they were tight.
Yeah, they were close.
So King Von was killed in Atlanta
Right.
after like a confrontation with Quando Rondo.
Yeah, another rapper.
Yeah, another rapper. It's important to remember, though,
Yeah.
that Rondo was never actually charged
With Von's murder.
with Von's murder. Yeah.
There was tension there, for sure. But he wasn't charged. But
Right.
that didn't stop the tension from, like,
From escalating.
escalating.
And now prosecutors are saying
Right.
that Lil Durk was driven by grief.
Grief and revenge.
Yeah, revenge.
And he started planning to target Rondo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to 2022.
Right.
This incident at a gas station.
In Los Angeles.
Yeah, L.A. And we're talking multiple members
Oh, yeah.
of Lil Durk's crew.
OTF.
OTF, only the family.
Only the family.
Yeah, they were allegedly involved in this attack on Rondo.
Right.
And they were in 2 vehicles,
Wow.
reportedly stalking him.
Great.
And then all of a sudden,
Bam.
a hail of bullets.
Sounds like a movie.
It really does sound like a movie.
Okay.
But sadly, it's not.
It's not a movie.
Rondo escaped unharmed.
Unharmed. But
Okay.
his cousin, Savio Robinson, caught in the crossfire
Oh, no.
and was killed.
Wow.
So this really escalated things
Yeah.
from threats to actual violence.
And really tragic consequences.
Absolutely tragic.
Yeah. And this gas station shooting
Yeah.
is at the center of this indictment.
Like Lil Durk.
Yeah, against Lil Durk.
Right.
And the charges are
Real.
serious.
Yeah.
So Lil Durk is accused of financing.
The attempted hit.
Yeah, the hit on Rondo. And allegedly he was offering money and music opportunities
As incentives.
as incentives.
Wow.
The indictment also claims
Yes.
that he instructed his associates
Okay.
on how to book flights discreetly
To avoid detection.
to avoid detection.
Wow, they thought of everything.
And to make matters worse,
Even worse.
there's reportedly video footage
Oh, wow.
that places him in the area
On the day of the shooting.
on the day of the shooting.
Oh, man.
It's hard to believe
It is.
that someone at the top of their game
Yeah, someone's so successful.
could be entangled in something like this.
It's a complex situation.
Yeah.
And the prosecution is really trying to paint him
Yeah.
as the mastermind
As the mastermind.
of this murder-for-hire plot.
Wow.
It's big.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Okay, so we've got these accusations against Lil Durk, right? The alleged plot, the shooting. But then there's this whole other thing.
Yeah.
This whole other layer
Yeah, this is where it gets
where his music
really interesting.
could be used against him.
Yeah, this is a fascinating legal question. Like,
Yeah.
you think about it, rappers use their music to express themselves,
Right.
to tell their stories,
Yeah.
even to boast sometimes.
Right. And Lil Durk is known
You know,
for his lyrics being,
authentic,
raw and authentic,
Yeah.
reflecting real life.
street life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could some of those lyrics actually be seen as, like, admissions of guilt?
It's a gray area for sure.
Yeah.
Like, the prosecution could definitely say, well, hey, these lyrics support what the witnesses are saying. Or, you know, it shows a pattern of behavior.
So if he's rapping about putting a price on someone's head,
Yeah.
that could be used to support the claim that he financed the hit on Rondo.
Potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
But the defense is going to come back and say,
Right.
no, this is art.
Yeah.
This is expression,
Right, it's not a confession.
not a confession.
So then it comes down to
The jury.
the jury to decide.
Yeah, they got to look at the context,
Yeah.
the intent, the whole message of the song.
Right.
It's not an easy answer.
It makes you wonder.
Right.
Like, if Lil Durk ever
I
thought
thought about that.
that his music could be used against him.
In a courtroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a cautionary tale
Yeah.
for artists.
Who pull from their life.
Right. If you're drawing from real life.
Yeah.
Especially when it involves criminal activity.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful. This case could set a precedent for how rap lyrics are used as evidence
big precedent.
Huge, yeah.
There's been a lot of debate about this. You know,
Right.
some people are saying
Yeah.
using lyrics is like infringing on freedom of expression.
Yeah.
And it targets hip-hop artists unfairly.
Yeah.
But then others are saying, well, if these lyrics are about real things,
Right.
then they should be allowed in court.
It's a complicated issue.
Yeah.
For sure.
Very complicated.
So let's shift gears for a second.
Okay. Yeah.
Lil Durk has had massive success
Huge success.
in the music industry.
Yeah, he's breaking records.
Yeah, he's winning awards.
Collaborating with huge names.
Yeah, he's a symbol.
Of resilience and hustle.
Yeah, for a lot of people.
Right.
But he also has this history
This past.
of legal trouble.
Yeah.
And now these new charges,
Yeah.
they're casting this shadow.
Yeah, it's a complex legacy.
Yeah.
It really is.
On one hand, you have the Grammy winner
Right.
at the top of his game.
Yeah.
And then you have someone,
Who could potentially spend life in prison.
and this case has already affected his life outside of the courtroom.
Oh, absolutely.
Like his foundation. Remember?
The Neighborhood Heroes Foundation?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one working with Chicago suburbs.
Yeah. On those youth mentorship programs.
Right. All that good work.
What happened with that?
At least one municipality has already cut ties.
Wow. That's a reminder that actions have consequences.
Yeah, even for those trying to make a positive difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this case really highlights
The intersection of fame.
fame, violence, and the justice system.
Yeah, it's a story.
Makes us think about...
It makes us confront some hard truths.
Yeah, for sure.
So where do we go from here?
Well, good question.
What's next for Lil Durk?
Well, as of right now, he's being held without bail
Wow.
while he awaits transfer to LA for trial.
And if he's convicted,
Wow.
doesn't have.
He and his co-defendants are facing
Yeah.
maximum sentence of life in prison.
The stakes are so high.
They couldn't be higher.
His career.
His freedom,
His legacy.
everything's on the line.
It's a reminder
Powerful reminder.
that no one is above the law.
Even those who seem untouchable.
Yeah.
This case is like a legal thriller,
It's crazy.
a human drama,
Yeah.
a story about the music industry.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
This deep dive has been so insightful.
Yeah.
What are your big takeaways so far?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me is that every story has multiple sides.
Yeah.
We can't jump to conclusions
Right.
until we have all the facts.
Yeah.
And we got to remember that everyone, even someone as successful as Lil Durk,
Yeah.
is a complex person with their own unique experiences.
That's a really good point. This whole thing really makes you think about Lil Durk's legacy. Like, how will this case impact it in the long run?
Yeah.
We've talked about his success, his struggles, all these charges against him.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a legacy that was already kind of complicated before this whole indictment. You know, on one hand, you've got this incredibly talented artist. Chart-topping hits Grammy win. His music speaks to millions of people, especially those who really connect with his stories about struggle and overcoming hardship.
He's like a symbol of hope for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Showing that you can come from difficult circumstances and still achieve mainstream success.
Exactly. But then on the other hand, you have this pattern of legal issues that have followed him throughout his career. And now these charges, which are super serious, they just add a whole other dimension to his story.
It's hard to reconcile those two sides.
It really is. And this duality is something the whole music industry is going to have to grapple with. Like, how do you separate the art from the artist, especially when the artist's life is so intertwined with their music?
Yeah, it's a question that goes way beyond just Lil Durk. It speaks to a larger issue within hip-hop and other genres too, where that line between reality and artistic expression can be blurred.
Yeah. And this case could even lead to a much broader reassessment of how we consume music, how we interpret it, particularly in genres that pull from real-life experiences. And it also raises questions about responsibility within the industry itself.
What do you mean?
Well, like, do record labels, promoters, streaming platforms, do they have a responsibility to consider the potential consequences of promoting artists who have a history of violence? Should they factor that into their decisions?
Those are tough questions.
They are. But they're questions we need to be asking. Because ultimately, this case is about more than just Lil Durk. It's about music fame, violence, and the justice system, all coming together in a way that's impossible to ignore.
It's a reflection of larger issues in society, too, and a reminder that even those who reach incredible heights, they're not immune to the consequences of their actions. This deep dive has been a real eye-opener. We've gone through so many emotions: shock, disbelief, sadness.
It's a lot to process.
It really is.
And it makes us confront some uncomfortable truths about the world.
As we wrap up, what's the biggest takeaway for you?
I think for me, It's a reminder to keep an open mind. We need to wait for all the facts to come out before we judge. And remember that every story has multiple layers.
That's such an important point. And as this case unfolds, we'll keep following it. We'll bring you updates as they become available. So stay informed, think critically, and let's keep talking about these complex issues, because this story is far from over, and it has the potential to impact not just Lil Durk's life, but the music world and beyond.
Couldn't agree more. This is a case that's going to keep sparking debate and make us question the systems we live with.
And that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us as we unpack this complex and evolving story. Until next time, stay curious.